Namaste to all of you. You like to keep this distance? Do you like to keep this distance or you are okay with coming forward? Especially the ones who are sitting behind. Let me have a closer look at you also. Do you mind coming in the front? And I would suggest those who are having difficulty in your knee or anything in the foot, you can sit up. There's no problem. But if there is no issue with your feet, then I would say at least try sitting down. In between, if you find difficulty, you can go back. So can I request all those who are sitting up to come down? All of you. All of you sitting on the chairs. I'm requesting everyone who's sitting on the chairs to please sit down. Even if there are student volunteers, I would request you all to sit down. I'm sure you are the youngest over here. Yeah, can I request you all also to be down? You can go up if there is any difficulty later on. If you have some genuine problem, you can sit up. But otherwise, please use the floor now. As Pawai ma'am said earlier, this is for your benefit. You will feel better because if we are going to sit here from 8:45 to 5, it's going to get very difficult if you're going to sit on the chair because the blood circulation, please understand, will not be correct. You will not get sufficient blood through the body. But when you're sitting cross-legged, this is the traditional way how we have been sitting even in childhood and the earlier years. And that was more comfortable, more good for health. So this is for your benefit. And I have a question. Doesn't matter who your higher ups are over here. I have a genuine question. How many of you have come here by your own wish? Yeah, and how many? It's okay. I was also forced to attend. So it's okay. I will give you my experience of my first encounter with UHV. I'm going to share that with you. I have not come voluntary into it initially in my first workshop that I attended. And that is why this question has come to my mind. Normally, one would not think, kaisa bhi hota hai. But this has come because I have gone through that experience. And so I would like to know how many of you have come here because somebody else wanted you to be here. Please raise your hand. It's okay. It's perfectly okay. As I'm telling you, I was one of you. Only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. There could be several reasons for not coming, not wanting to be here. I was made to attend one in July 2020. And that time I was the in charge principal. I was the IQAC coordinator. I was heading the department, and that was in the, you can say, the heat of the COVID. When we were all sitting at home, there were no maids, no servants, nobody was allowed to come in. You had family members whom you have not met and they are far away. I had one of my daughter who is in the medical field, so she was almost not there for quite some time with 2 tiny children at home. That time her older son was only 5 years and her daughter was only 7. No, the son was 3.5 years and her daughter was only 7 months. This was at the peak of COVID in March 2020. And you can imagine what I had already gone through till June. You can understand what I'm trying to say. Initially, it was a nice golden period. Chalo chutti mil gaya. 15 days, 1 month, and then I realized what we are going through. That this is not normal. And somewhere in June, my management sent me a mail that you have to go and attend this. I not go, but you have to attend it online. 5 days online, I had no time. 9 to 5. How do you? And The certificate had to be produced also. It was not just attending. And I knew that from 9 to 5, I cannot spare that kind of time because I had two babies to look after at home. I had no help at home. Plus, I was the in charge principal and all other responsibilities. So I was looking into all other college things also. So I said, why does the management think that I need it? उनको क्या लग रहा है कि हमारे में values नहीं है? That is why they want me to attend. Or do they think कि हमको enough काम नहीं है इसके लिए attend करना है? What is it? This thought never came to me that probably they were thinking for my benefit. That thought was never there. I always thought, why me? Why they want me to attend it? And I was the only one. ऐसा भी नहीं that there are 5-10 people who are made to attend. So I said, why only me? I have to attend it. A lot of these questions came to me. So I attended it with a lot of internal dilemmas within me. I didn't want to. I had no choice. I could not argue with the management. I could not even discuss it with them. बोला है तो करना है. They have asked me to do it, so I have to do. So right on the first day, we were asked to report at 9:30 in the online. So 9:15 we had to check our connections and all that, and I did all that. And there they told us all the rules and the regulation, like how the observer mentioned to you, बाहर नहीं जाना है, attend करना है, 100% होगा तो ही certificate मिलेगा. So I said, what are we doing this for certificate? Values के लिए भी certificate जरूरी है. So many questions were there in my mind. And then they said there'll be a poll, surprise polls, and you have to answer, and that will be appearing only for fraction of time, some seconds. So there was a lot of stress. You can understand when I'm washing clothes, vessels, cleaning the baby whenever she requires, feeding her when she requires, and answering my daughter's calls. Another daughter lives in US, so her calls early morning, late nights, a lot of things were going on in the house. And I said, how am I going to manage this? There was a lot of stress. I said, why to study values in stress? Why not some other time? Because every time we had hope, COVID chala jayega. I said, when it becomes face to face, we'll see later on. Why now? Anyway, with a lot of these queries in my mind, I had to attend. I didn't have a choice. So something was going on in my imagination, which was giving me a lot of discomfort within. And with this discomfort, I was attending. So washing vessels, and suddenly the laptop is open. And suddenly my eye is on that screen. Poll aaya to usko reply karna hai. So the moment that would come, fatafat haath wash karke, cut there I would do. First day went like that. Trying to catch the polls. And there was a quiz at the end of the day. So we had to do that also. And there was a tutorial for an hour in the evening. People were asking questions. I said, let people ask questions. I don't have the time to ask questions. Who wants to think on all that? So I was very, you can say, retaliative participation. I hope you understand what I'm saying. A lot of opposition was going on within me. And with that, I attended this first day. Second day, I got little settled because now I know what is the routine, how I have to attend. Now I can manage the polls. हो सकता है सब कुछ. Yeah, and it is all on mute. There is no video, there is no voice, you don't need to talk. So I'm attending, I'm talking with the babies, I'm talking with my husband, I'm doing all these things along simultaneously. So you can understand the amount of concentration that I had in this. Hardly anything. So I was also answering the polls randomly. Second day, because it was settled, I knew how to manage it. Second day, I was with little more concentration. And second day, by the end of the second day, I felt I'm a winner. Manage ho gaya. Like I said, ki absolutely good. 5 दिन के बाद certificate तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. Now I can manage it. On the third day morning, when the session started, somewhere I felt I got connected. I felt that they're talking something which is related to me also. I am also part of the story that they're narrating. And gradually I started paying attention to it. This was on the third day. And by the evening of that third day, I felt this is something which I was looking out for probably many years. And I think I can get answers from here. Answers for which I have not got earlier. I got better connected on the fourth day, and fifth day I felt this should continue, but it was coming to an end. And the fifth day evening, I decided I want to ask only one question in the tutorial, which I never asked for so many days, not even a single question. I asked them, what if I want to join this again? What if I want to understand this better? So they said, we are coming up with another advanced program and you'll be able to get the news for that. That is for the advanced program. I said, what if I want to do this again? Can I do this again? Because I knew I had not done justice. And now I knew that I have missed something very important. So they have every week they were having session, Monday to Friday, and I realized, arey, ye to bahut acha hai, golden. And then they sent me a link on the email. And they said this link will come to everyone. And you can join as a panelist. I felt, arey wah, I become a panelist without attending it properly. And then I started attending it as a panelist. So as a participant, I didn't know who were the others, how many were the others. But as a panelist, I could see the hundreds and thousands of people connected. I could see the resource person's name. I could see other panelists. And I felt this is something I never thought it was so important. But they were all deans, and slowly I also realized that the vice chancellor of my university, University of Mumbai, was attending that workshop on the same day when I was attending. The same Monday to Friday which I attended, my university vice chancellor was also part of it, which I never knew. This I got to know on the last day when we were sharing. I also shared, he also shared, and when he introduced himself, I got a blast, I said, what is this? Maybe something very important which I didn't value it. And that's why I joined another one next week. And this journey continued. And then we had, the refresher courses. And we attended those refresher courses. And what had happened was every week they were in English, Hindi. So I started attending both. My Hindi is not very great. We have a Bombay Hindi that we talk, Bombaya Hindi. And they were using very high Hindi, very Shuddha Hindi. But I could understand, although I'm not able to speak that language, but I could understand every word of it. And whatever I couldn't, I could make out from the previous or the later words. So gradually I started attending the English and the Hindi. And slowly by September, this was in July, by September they invited me to come as a volunteer. I said, chalo, something they have found in me. And that's why now they've invited me to volunteer also. And we had one resource person from Maharashtra, Umesh Bhaiya. He invited me as a volunteer. And he was a resource person in that first one. So that's how I got connected to UHV. And then, of course, doing the refresher courses in English, Hindi. And by January or something, I went to US to meet my daughter there. And I think so, it was January or something like that. And I started connecting from there also. And this journey continued. And slowly I realized that I'm volunteering and I'm attending, I'm listening, and every time I'm listening, the same things. Yeah, one more thing that happened was when Umesh Bhaiya invited me as a volunteer in September, they had meetings every Saturday, Sunday. I used to attend one Saturday, Sunday I attended. Next Saturday, Sunday again I didn't attend. So again Umesh Bhaiya called up. What happened? You're not being seen last 2-3 Saturday, Sunday. So I said the same story you all are saying again and again. Now what am I going to gain from it? You all are saying the same things. Every time I'm listening, it's the same thing. I'm already listening from Monday to Friday. And then on the weekly meetings also I'm listening to the same thing. Then he asked me one question. So, do you think that you agree to what is being said? I said, yes, of course. All that is being said is true. We have to. So, everything you're applying in your life? I said, no, I'm not applying. So, being out of the content, you think you'll be able to remember everything and apply it? He asked me those 2, 3 questions. And those were the questions that I kept wondering within myself. And I kept reflecting on them. I got the answer to my own self. He just had asked questions. And I realized that this is the content which I need to be in touch every day, every moment. Not every day, but every moment. That was the beginning of my journey. So wherever we are in this universe, I realized that I need to be connected with this content. Only then, that little transformation within myself is possible. And I started reflecting on my own self. And those were the answers that I started getting. And these answers that I have started getting, it has been more than 2020 July. So you can say it's more than 3.5 years now, almost going to be 4 years. And I can still say that the transformation that I'm expecting within my own self, it is just a beginning. And then, of course, I attended higher workshops. I met senior UHV resource persons. I met the senior most Ganesh Bhaiya in Kanpur, where I attended his sessions also. I started listening to a lot of the YouTube videos that the seniors have all been sharing in different workshops, conferences. And I feel every time I listen to that same video, that same playlist, that same video I'm listening, every time I'm learning something new about my own self, not about others. I'm talking about my own self. And I realize that this is a journey for self. To understand our own self is also not simple. That also is difficult. It's going to be a long process. How much change has happened, what transformation has happened in me is to be realized by you after interacting with the people with whom I live, my colleagues with whom I interact, my family members with whom I live, the people other than that with whom I interact. Because me singing my own story is not going to help. मेरे में क्या ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हुआ अगर मैं बताऊंगी तो आप शायद मानोगे भी नहीं कि मैं पहले क्या थी और बाद में क्या हुई. But if you ask my family and my colleagues, probably they will be the right people to, talk about you. Pawi ma'am is one example of I can talk about her. And of course, I've not interacted with her very early, but I've heard about her transformation from her own people whom she interacts with on a daily basis. So I can talk about that. But if you are going to ask me about myself, sometimes I will definitely in the 3 days, I will share few examples. But those are not the only way to identify how and what the transformation is. We will need to go through all the nitty-gritties, the small proposals that we are going to place, and through that, the sharing will happen. We just returned back, some of us, we returned back on Monday morning from Goa. It was an 8-day workshop for students, and from 9 to 5 was for students, and 5:30 to 6:37, about an hour and a half was for the faculty. On the first day, the students who were sitting on the back were writing their own notes of other subjects. They were eating small things from down. They were checking their mobiles from below. They were all seated, or they had a bench system, because students didn't want to sit like this. And it's a new institute under Ayush. It's about 1.5 years. So they didn't have this kind of a facility where you can put the mattresses. So they were all sitting on benches. So below the bench, you can do anything. Many things. Anything and many things. Either they were sitting and studying for an exam which is 3 months later. 3 महीने के बाद exam, but they were studying now. Basically, they wanted to revolt. नहीं पढ़ना आपका values. कौन आए हो? क्यों आए हो? हमारा अच्छा खासा मेडिकल का स्टडी चल रहा है. We are studying very nicely our medical courses. What is the sudden values that have come inside? That also for 8 days. They were revolting. They were not liking it. We sustained in that situation. All this was happening behind. The question that we would ask, they would say exactly the opposite what others are saying. There was so much opposition within, for us, for the course, everything. I'm just giving you this very small example. On the 7th day, they had from 9 to 5. Many of them are hostilites. On the 7th day at 3 o'clock, it was a Saturday. See, we started on Sunday. Full Sunday they had given us. And then the weekday. Umesh Bhaiya was the main resource person there. I was the co-facilitator, and we had 2 other volunteers who were there as observers, Anita Didi and Mahesh Bhaiya. At 3 o'clock, during the lunch break, we discussed amongst us. And we said the students are getting very restless now. Today being a Saturday, which normally they have only up to 1. Sunday they have a holiday. They have already given one Sunday. They are going to give tomorrow also. Let us leave them today by 2:33. This was what we discussed. We had not communicated to anyone. At 3 o'clock, we stopped. And we said, you can leave. And we'll meet tomorrow. And we thought they'll be very happy. We actually thought they'll be very happy. You can understand what we are trying to say. 3 o'clock when we announced that, we had students who were crying. Why were they crying? They were shocked that this is the end of the program. And they said, why are you ending the program so early? Why not till 5 o'clock today? And they realized today is the 7th day. We said, is it coming to an end? We said, yes, the program is ended. From our side, the content is over. Now it is your turn to speak. They couldn't accept that. Many students were in tears, including the some who were sitting behind. Of course, they had already come in the front by that time. They had that sorrow within them. We tried to explain to them, today you go back. There are a lot of other important things that you have to do. You're washing, cleaning, studying, completing your assignments. You go and complete that. And we gave them the pointers for sharing. So next day was only sharing. So they came back the next day morning. Some who were emotional, some who were not, some who were balanced. We finished the sharing and we left them by 1:30. Instead of jumping and being happy that a Sunday humko mil gaya adha, they had those expression within them. Yeah, thank you. They had that expression within them that it is not okay to complete it now. We want to continue. Many of them expressed that in words. So then, on the spur of the moment, we decided that we will be connected with them online, and we have also their faculty, they are all medical professionals, so they have the OPD and all that. So they were connected with us only from 5:30 to 6:37. So then the dean over there, the dean director, she decided to have a 5-day workshop for the faculty when the students are on leave. And she said, we'll take turns in the OPD, but we'll all attend the 5-day workshop so that the discussion on the UHV can continue for a longer period. And it is more sustainable if the faculty there get trained. Because being connected in an online mode is different from a face-to-face workshop. And having the faculty there with all the transformation, will have a better impact on the students and the future generation of faculty and students. So here again, I'd just like to say to all that although some of us may have come with a lot of resistance, the whole discussion right now that I've had is, the purpose of it is, just listen to it, even if you didn't want to. I missed it for the first 2 days, at least the first day. I had a scope of continuing it because I decided to continue. Some of you may decide and you may want to continue because we do have morning sessions every day. 5:30 to 7:30, we are all connected. There is no certificate, but we all join it every day, 5:30 to 7:30. We are 5:30 to 6:30 is in English, 6:30 to 7:30 is in Hindi. We are all connected because of our own choices, because we think that we want to be connected. And we have senior resource persons who have worked on themselves for a longer period in a better way. And we can see that through live examples, through their clear presentations of proposals, we are able to develop ourselves. So once you complete the 3-day workshop, you will have a choice to get connected to the online morning sessions, to the meetings of your regional level meetings, whichever day it happens. I think later on Pawai Madam can share that, all those details with you all. So in case you decide to get connected or to continue with the connection, you will have a lot of options for connection. You have the weekly workshops which happen from Monday to Friday, which you can attend those. You can attend the weekly meetings of your region. You can attend the morning sessions that I'm talking about. We also have regional conferences, national conferences, international conferences. In fact, international conference is going to happen in October through Chennai, through the SRM through Chennai. This is online, but 2025 is going to happen physically, most probably right now seems in SRM in Chennai. So we can all take the advantage of that, all these meetings that are happening face to face and online. So any one of you who still have a question, you can keep that question with you. Continue to explore. On the 3rd day, we will again ask the same question. How many of you think that you now feel to be, that you are forced to attend this, or do you think now that in spite of being forced, you think something good has happened and you feel interested? This is one thing I can tell you. I retired in 1st April. And this is the one thing that I can thank my management for. 39 and a half years of teaching without UHV, 6 months of teaching with UHV. I think that was the worst thing that happened, that 39 and a half years I never got the exposure of UHV. And the last 6 months I got it with UHV. And I could see the drastic difference in my own behavior, in my own expectations, in my own approach in teaching, in my profession and so on. Although I may have achieved lots in the earlier years, as you read the biodata, this is always a formality now for me. It is only to tell me the number of years and the number of things that I did, probably which didn't really matter to me ever now. They were very important at that time, but I think now if I look at it, I have a question whether all these things were really, should be really considered important. And we'll be discussing that also. Why? So I have a simple question to all of you. How many of you can see the number of colleges, the number of schools, the number of institutions have increased? How many of you think they have increased? Educational institutions have increased in numbers. You can raise your hand. Almost all of you think that educational institutions have increased, schools, colleges. How many of you think the infrastructure in these institutions have also increased? Can we see better infrastructure compared to what we have gone through in the college? Yes or no? Better infrastructure? Probably I never studied in an air-conditioned hall. I have never attended a conference in my college life when I was a student in an air-conditioned hall. In fact, my college is renovating the entire auditorium now with acoustics and the seating and everything. I was surprised that my institution is doing it. They said today's generation everybody expects that, and that is the way it is. Do you see this change? Yes? Even the schools, infrastructure has become better for those tiny dots also. So we do see that number of institutions have increased, infrastructure in these institutions have increased. In every way we can see a growth, and we call that as development. Yes or no? Do we all not say this as development? In fact, in the NAC scoring, for the NAC scoring also, there is an entire chunk, entire criteria for infrastructure. And we all add all that because there are marks and points to everything. Isn't it? Number of computers, number of laboratories, the number of staff, technicians, full-time, part-time, CHVs. Don't we add all that? Infrastructure in terms of chairs, tables, everything we count. Sofa, everything, every little thing is counted. The number of smart boards. You have a nice screen here. I'm sure when you add it in your NAC criteria, you will add about this also. Every little thing we'll add. We went to Goa, there was a smart board and we had a pen and we could write on it and that could be saved, and then we could erase and we could use alternatively the screen and the board, and I was using it for the first time. I had to learn. That means, and who was teaching me? Students like these. Very smart they were. They are already used to all this and we are still learning. Advanced infrastructure. We've had many such encounters where we are finding that we are not competent to use the technology that is available. We have to learn from the younger generation because they are already exposed to it. They already know what it is. Some of them have grown with tabs. So students in that classroom that I'm talking were sitting with tabs. So if I had to walk through the class, they would change the screen. I wouldn't know. They were so smart. They could use the tab, they could record what we are talking. Everything was happening in their small tab. So much technology has increased. So much of infrastructure has increased. Number of floors are increasing. The designated spaces are increasing. If you look at the other side now, with this increase in development, can we say, of course, IITs also, number of IITs have increased. IIMs have increased. So if you are looking at that growth, also it is more. Yes or no? Can we say on the other side that the rate of suicide has decreased? Has the rate of depression decreased? Has the rate of divorces decreased? Has the rate of riots decreased? Has the number of wars decreased? Has the number of armed infrastructure development decreased or increased? So everything that we are talking about is inversely proportionate. There is more development of institutions, but there is the development is a downfall. If you are looking at suicide, it's growing, it's more. Divorces are growing, yes or no? In fact, there are research studies also which have reported that in 2020, after the COVID, divorce rates have increased during that period. Fights, differences, oppositions have increased within the families. Why? Why did that happen? What do you think? Why is all this on an increase when your institutions are okay? Not only institutions, have the number of people who are educating also increased? What do you think? So, number of institutions and organizations are growing for education. Number of people who are taking education is also increased. What about in Chennai? Is the educational growth, number of people also increasing? Yeah? Is Chennai out of all these divorces, war? What do you think? Is it away? Or is it part of the same story everywhere? Same story? If we look at the suicides, if we look at the depression cases, if we look at the broken homes, so why do you think this has happened? Sorry? Misunderstandings, less interactions, addiction to social media. Okay. Yeah, please use the mic. I think that was, thank you, madam. Use the mic, that will help everyone.
No harmony in understanding.
No harmony in understanding. Okay.
In understanding.
Okay. What about the others? Yeah. Please use the mic. Sorry? I think your mic is off.
In early days, husbands' wives are fully dependent upon the husband. Nowadays, wives are also independent, so they need independence among themselves. This caused some difference, misunderstanding, and difference between husband and wife. It is also increasing in divorce rates.
Yeah. Next.
More expectations.
Yeah. Tell me if all your points are covered.
Ego between peoples.
Ego. Okay.
The superiority in nature.
Superiority.
They feel they are superiority.
Who they mean? Whoever.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, what about the natural calamities? The ozone layer depleting, the air becoming impure, the water shortage, the deforestation, deploying nature by itself. Is that increased or decreased? Who is responsible? So with education, should that not have been, you can say, nature getting spoiled? Should that not have increased with more educational institutions, with more people going through education? Yeah, what else? Why this depression and suicide? Why is that increasing? Even amongst the intellectuals, those who have cracked the entrances, gone to IITs, gone to the best institution, AIMS or whatever, yes? Stress. Stress of what? How?
Taking everything. Everything is going to be a stress for each and every individual. So it is according to the individual who is going to handle that. So each and everyone has to find some other way to get out of that. They must concentrate on some other things so that they can get relaxed about that some particular problem. So they can concentrate on that. After that, if they comes back to the same situation, means they may come up with some new solutions where they can get rid of it. So that life is becoming each and every day, every individual in this world is obtaining some sort of stress, but they have to find among themselves some way of de-stressing it so that we can lead a happy life. So every individual's responsibility to take up that. So they are lagging in that situation.
How
So
to
they
handle
do
stress?
yes, they are lagging on handling the stress situations, so that they are committing the things.
Yeah, okay, we are not able to handle stress, but why is this stress coming? What is the cause for stress? Each one of, as you said, everyone is facing stress. There would be, if we are over here right now, 75 people, there would be 75 sources of stress.
Everybody wants to win, ma'am. Everybody wants to be at the top.
Okay,
So that one making everyone to be in stress.
so can we say it is competition?
Yeah.
Stress because of competition?
Yes, ma'am.
To be on top. Okay.
Comparison.
Comparison. Okay.
No understanding of purpose of life.
Okay, very nice.
Completion of work within the deadline of time.
Okay. Time. Stress of time. Time management.
Some
Sorry? Emotionally weak. Okay.
bullying by others.
Sorry?
Bullying.
Bullying by others.
Yes.
Okay. So can we say that these are all our problems also? All of us are going through this? Stress, time management, lack of priority. Is it somebody else's problem or is it my problem also? Can we all say that this is my problem also? I'm also in that same stress, that same competition, that same comparison, ego, superiority. Is it my problem also? Or is it somebody else's problem? And I'm only seeing it like a film. What is it? Is it my problem also? Can I identify with all these things? Money. Oh, yeah. Very big.
Yes.
It's a big thing. Why do we want money? More money? Why do I want more money? For status. Okay. So if I don't have money, I will not have status. That is my fear. What else will I get with money? Luxury. Okay. What else? What else will I get with money? Status, luxury. What else?
Enjoying the life.
Secured. Okay. Greed. To show power. For health. So we can make a big list of the problems in the society, the problems that are there in me. And because of me in the society, I want money because I want status. I want to enjoy luxury. I want to feel secured. Isn't it? Yes or no? This is my problem and it's your problem also. So it is everyone's. Isn't it? So if we are able to see all this, all these things that we have said, when educational institutions are growing and the number of people that we are all getting educated, but still there are problems and there are more problems. Because I think my grandmother was very happy having only 2 sets of clothes. She used to be very happy. Khush. One was on the nail on the wall and one pair was on herself. I never heard her saying even once that she wants a third pair. In fact, I remember my father used to ask her, let's go and add one pair, because sometimes some hole is there. So my father used to feel that you need another pair. She used to say, no, I'm very happy. I don't want to add anything. I'm not going to come to buy. She had that plain one color, red color, that maroonish color. As a widow, they used to wear maroon color. I am originally from Kutch, Gujarat. So there, the widows would wear the maroon color full dress. It would be half sari. It was a cotton odhni, a cotton ghagra and a cotton blouse. It was one of the modern style of blouse. She used to wear a backless blouse, but very casually she would carry herself. And that odhna would be on her head, so it would cover her back also. And she would stitch that blouse with her own hand, the choli, and she would have that ghagra and that dupatta. I still remember those days as a child when my father and my mother would insist, because they would feel if she had to go out, they would feel it will look bad for them. अच्छा नहीं लगेगा हमारा. So you must have one new pair. But she would always say, I don't need one. And she would say, no, I'm happy with what I have. They were very satisfied with whatever was there. So having more education, and she was not educated. She never went to school. She could never read. She could never write. She would memorize from somebody else who would teach her. So she knew a lot of scriptures and all that, but through verbal communication, and that she had memorized. Very happy with simple food. Her diet requirement was very limited. She would eat one banana, roti, dal, and rice, and buttermilk in the afternoon, her lunch. Morning would be milk and rotla. You know what's rotla? It's a roti made of bajra, jowari. It's a thick roti. She would have that one. But she would make 15 of them. For whom she would make? She made one for the dog, few for the dogs, few for the cows, and in all that she would have one for herself. So if anybody came home also, she had enough to share. Very happy in all that. She would live a simple life in the village. Never wanted to come to the city. Unless she was 80, when we felt that she couldn't take care of herself, we brought her to Mumbai. And she died at 101. Without even a spectacle, no cataract operation, no spectacle she required. She would walk straighter than me. Very happy, satisfied, could interact with everyone nicely. Very vocal, very frank, didn't have to hide anything. She would say whatever she had to. And people would respect her a lot. Now the question to me is, with all the luxury, am I more happier or was she? I feel she is. Because I am in a state, at whatever state of clothes I have, the number of clothes I have which are uncountable, I still feel I have less. I still feel if I have to go for an occasion, I have to spend some time in selecting. And at the end, I still feel I need to add something. I need to buy. For this occasion, I don't have enough. Or what I have, everybody's seen it. So whether I am more happy or was she happy is a question that is still there within me. She was very satisfied. She was not earning anything. She got that limited money every month that my father would send her. She was happy with that. I don't remember a single day she has asked for more. In fact, she used to tell my father, don't send me now. I have enough saving of that also. Where am I going to use all that? So what she had also, she used to feel very satisfied. Although she knew that she doesn't have any other source. She was very secured. We talk about insecurity even when we have continuous source of fund. So this is a question that we all need to ask ourselves with the education that we've all achieved, PhD, post-PhD, so many certifications, patents, publications. Has our education system been able to help us in leading a better life? This is a question for all of us. What has happened in this entire education pattern that I have gone through? I went to the nursery, KG, I went to 1st to 10th, I went to junior college, I went for a graduation, I went for a post-graduation, I went for a doctorate, I did so many certifications, I attended so many conferences, I updated my knowledge, what I call it as knowledge. I did everything that the world could provide me. Even in the online mode, I conducted, I attended, participated, I went as keynote speaker, I was the chairperson, I did everything. Why is it still that the thoughts within me are not always positive? Why is it that my action, my behavior is not always positive? When I say not positive, it is creating disharmony within me and it is creating disharmony to the others. If I'm in my family, I'm creating disharmony in the family. If I'm in the society, in my college, I'm creating disharmony in the college. If I'm in the society, in the world outside, I'm creating disharmony there. Explore whether you are also in the same state as I am. Or are you able to see that? Whether you are in disharmony or not. Madam just said that whenever you are in disharmony, you can move somewhere and then learn something and find a solution and go back and solve it. Does it happen? Are we able to find solutions to all our problems? Or do we live with those problems, just escape for some time and go back to the same problem unresolved? What do you think? I am not able to solve or resolve because I do not have the skill to do that. I do not have the competency to do that. I may go and attend one stress management workshop, or I may go and attend some spiritual discourse thinking that this will all help me. I am telling you from my experience, all this has not helped me. Time management, stress management, many management workshops. I did yoga, I did many things. I attended spiritual discourses also. There I felt solution mila. I felt very nice sitting and listening to all of that. I felt this is right for me because the problems being discussed were same as what I wanted solution. But when I went back to my real life, I was not able to solve those problems. We are all educated. We are all giving an education to our students. Every year, thousands of students are coming out through us. Are we able to say that all those 1,000 students are good human beings, are good engineers, are good doctors, are good lawyers, are good human beings? Are we able to say that? Are we able to say with guarantee that these 1,000 students who are going out through me will never commit suicide, will never go in depression, will never make an equipment which will harm the society, will never do business exploiting others, will never do a business exploiting nature, will never work employed or self-employed, will never go fail in their relationship with others. What do you think? We are all faculties. Can we say, can we assure each other right now that yes, we are producing children an education, we are giving them an education where we can be assured that they will be the right kind of human being without exploiting nature, without exploiting other human beings. How many of you think you can raise your hand? You are assured that the education that I am giving is such that the children who are coming out through this education will always turn out to be good human beings. Anyone here who can raise your hand? many of us are providing ethics along with education. What do you think? There are so many ethics subjects also in the institutions. But still, here also, not a single hand, including me, who can say that the students who will walk out from this institution, this or my institution or wherever, will come out to be good human being. I can assure that they will not harm any nature, any part of nature or their relations in the family, in the society. They will be good human beings. Why? Why is it that we are not able to assure? Madam has already said, she has given an indication, okay, we can teach ethics. Maybe. That is also a good point. What else? What is missing in our education? What is our education focusing on? What is it that we are teaching in our curriculum? We are of course not teaching them to become bad human beings. We are not teaching them to become bad. But there is something that we are teaching. They are here with us for their valuable 4 years of undergraduation, 2 years of masters and maybe longer period for their doctorate. In that journey of 4 years to 10 years or 12 years, what is it that we are teaching and what is it that is missing? Yes? Who is that? Okay. Can I erase this?
We need to show the patients how to behave patiently, and we need to show in our behavior. If we show the 4 years our behavior wise, then they will get slowly adapt to that.
What madam is saying is right. It is not there in our behavior. Because it is missing in our behavior, we are not able to show it to them. We are ourselves not a good example to them. But we have all gone through. Abhi mera hi CV pada. You read my introduction, the co-facilitators, the observer. We are all having doctorate. Professor, head of department, in-charge principal, charged principal, everything was there. What was missing there? What is missing in our education? Of course, we are giving degrees and we are certifying that this person is the level who can take on the responsibility of the institution, the department and so on. But what is missing in this education? Very rightly pointed out, what is missing is the values. What we are giving is skill. Yes or no? Family is saying values will come in the college. We have paid fees. We have sent the children to college. Morning they leave the house. What time you leave your house? What time you leave your house? 6 to 7 a.m. Where are the other students here? Only one inside, yes. What time you leave your house? 7:10. Okay. 7:10. What time you reach? 4 or 5 p.m. What about you? Same. 4 p.m. they reach. How many hours they're out? 11 hours? What about your father? How many hours is, what time he goes? 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 12 hours. Your father? 9 to 9. Your mother works? Your mother works? No. So you can imagine the family now. One parent is out for 12 hours. The child is out for 11 hours. What is the family thinking? Values will come in the college. अच्छे इंसान कहाँ बनेंगे? College. And we as faculty think, what can I do? Maximum time they're spending at home. Values is the responsibility of the parents and the family, the grandparents, where the child is going only for bathing, sleeping, eating. What else? Relaxed. Okay. You can say TV. You have a mobile, na? Mobile so everybody will have, no? All of us also have. So, mobile, any other screen, whatever they are used to. Anything else that I've missed? What else do you do? Study? He has not said that. ठीक है, you are saying so I am putting. You all are saying studying. Playing. Okay. All this you all are adding. All this you all are adding. They have not said playing, they have not said studying. You want to add anything? हाँ, that TV screen आ गया सब कुछ. No, you are also student, no? What about your father? What time he leaves? 8 to 8. Okay, so same category. Isn't it? Anything else you want to add in the activity? Anything that you think you are not doing and we have added?
Spending time with parents.
Spending time. You spend time? Okay. What do you do with them?
Have dinner together. No matter how late dad turns up, we wait until dad comes home and then we have dinner together.
So this eating हो गया ना? This is together.
Chatting as well, post dinner.
Okay, chatting. You also do? Yes or no? You also chat? Okay. What about you? The last one. Yeah. What do you do in the family?
Talking to them about what happened in the college and what they have done from morning to night.
Yeah, girls do that normally. I don't know whether he is doing it. If he is doing it, then we have to go and check it. If he is saying that he is doing it, we have to check it. You chat? Huh? Few minutes. Now the real truth is coming out. And this is not only here, it is here also. Sorry? Boys are less talkative and yeah. What's the time? Okay, just give me 2 minutes. So what has happened is that we think that the values will come in the home. And the family feels that the values will come in the college. We have taken the responsibility of education. And education is to transform, isn't it? But what we are doing is mainly skill. Yes or no? how much time we are putting into value? 0. Or maybe a little bit negligible, even if we are doing it. So, if the education does not have it, we are expecting the child to learn values on their own. Because neither it's being there in the house, neither it is there. Yes, in the house they will say, come back early, don't go late, don't drink, don't eat drugs, don't get into bad habits. Yes, of course they are saying all that. And similarly, in the college also, don't go and spend time when the classes are going on, don't go to the canteen, be in the class, don't talk, pay attention, all that is happening. What they have to do and what they don't have to do is happening in the house, it's happening in the college also. Is that education that is going to show the transformation? Will such an education bring about a transformation? Only if we have a skill-based education and the do's and don'ts of how to live and how not